If you were a tax expert 3 years ago, that doesn't mean anything today.
Got you,
Yeah.
got you. So so one of the things that are required for CPAs are like continuous education or continuous learning.
Yeah, so we have something called CPE, continuing practitioner education, and basically every other year we get tested or we have to take a certain amount of hours of CPE, and that's going to update us on new tax regulations, how things are changing. We can choose which classes we take. I tend to stick in the crypto arena,
Got you.
tax arena, some bookkeeping, ethics, but there's a huge amount of information that goes into being a CPA. At least when I took the test, there were 4 different sections. You had regulation, which is mostly tax. You had auditing. You had bookkeeping, which we call FAR. And then you had business economics. However, they've changed it just a little bit. They've made it more specific, but when I took the test, that's how it was. And then we had to pass an ethics exam on top of already having 150 credit hours, 30 hours of advanced accounting, and sitting under a CPA for a year. So being a CPA is not an easy task. And for those that aren't sure exactly what a CPA is, I look at it as a scorekeeper for business. I know when I was on tour and I was saying, hey, I'm a CPA, there were a couple people who got real concerned because they thought I was going to take their kids. And I was like, I'm not CPS. And they were genuinely
Oh,
like,
got you,
they were genuinely
got you.
not understanding. And so as a CPA, I look at myself as a scorekeeper for business, similar to like how a scorekeeper for basketball, they're going to keep track of the points, the assists, the rebounds, and essentially they're the translator to explain what's going on in the court and put it into numbers so that people can digest it more easily. And you should never really get mad at a scorekeeper. Anytime a scorekeeper makes a mistake, it can always be corrected. And typically, we're supposed to be unbiased.
Yeah.
We're not supposed to root for a certain team. I'm not supposed to be, hey, I want IRS to take all your money. Never that. And typically, I'll go in favor of the client, but I won't go to where they'll get in trouble.
Got you, got
So
you.
I try to stay unbiased, stay in, hey, this is where you were at, this is what you owe, this is what you get back. And if you don't want to take the stance that I'm saying for you, then you don't have to take that stance. I just won't sign it off for you. That's happened many times where they're like, I should know this much. And I'm like, well, you do. And then they do their thing.
Yeah.
That's where it's at. That's what a CPA is. And yeah, I've enjoyed it so far.
Okay. I would imagine that there are the number of CPEs, continuous credits, or practicing education or whatever, those learning modules. I would imagine that there's more crypto modules than there were in the past.
Yes, but nowhere near as many as there needs to be.
Got-
The vast majority of these are so beginner that I don't think people are really understanding how to dig into them. And even like with some of the laws that are being put out there, I don't think they really understand how crypto works. Crypto was made not for taxes. It was technology to literally not have a government overseeing it. And so when the governments are trying to tax, it doesn't really fit. They don't control it, so it doesn't really make too much sense.
Got you. Got you. Okay. Okay. If you're telling me that, if you're telling that there's not that many and you're an expert in it, then I would expect that you would be teaching some of those classes pretty soon.
Correct.
Is that in the
That's
pipeline for
definitely
you?
in the pipeline.
Okay.
I've reached out to a couple people to get it going. However, the bigger money is just going directly to the CPAs themselves and teaching them how to do it. But once you start
Okay.
getting into the language,
Okay.
most of them can't even digest the language because crypto is a whole new language.
Yeah.
So in their minds, they're thinking, well, all I have to do is keep track of a cost basis. When you start mentioning forks and wraps and airdrops and the various other things, and you start talking about NFTs, and a lot of times they're just like, wait, this is too much. I thought I wanted to get into this, and I really don't.
Yeah.
That's why it's such a small amount of people that are in this niche.
Yeah.
And even the ones that are, like I know we have Rebecca Samuels, but she doesn't go to the vast majority of clients. She likes to stick to her own clients, and that's it. You have Raven,
Out in Houston.